Hi again, it's me, Cinnamon. I'm a 24-year-old working a corporate job who loves all things personal finance, especially budgeting. And today I'll be budgeting my first paycheck of June. So I am about to go back to New York. That is why I'm super late to filming this budget video, and I also haven't filmed my spending recap yet, but I'm very excited to go through that spending recap because so much happened in May and there's just so much to go over, so I really can't wait to do that. But I wanted to prioritize this budgeting video because for me, if my money isn't assigned, if I don't know where it's going, I just feel like I don't have a plan for the month. So I really wanted to set my plan for June up before I went back to New York, and so I can have just a better idea of if I can cover everything that I need to cover for this month. So let's get right into it. My ready to assign is $5,226.32, and that's my gross pay minus taxes only. So I still have to cover some overspending. Starting with my investing, I put my investments from payroll on budget. So I have to cover my HSA contribution and my 401k contribution. And to do that, I just press underfunded and then reset available amounts because I don't want to prepay for them. So that handles two overspent categories. I'll get into my last one in a bit. Following my normal flow, I got to go to my next month's holding and set myself up so that I stay a month ahead. And with my remainder, with my leftover money, I'm going to start working towards my sinking fund goal, which is $727 every month, and I can put $589 towards that right now. So that is all I need to do to really get everything in the right starter categories. But before I go into doing more, I'm going to cover my overspending, and that should be here. So all of this overspending is because it was my boyfriend's birthday earlier this month, and I did know I would be spending towards it, but I did not budget in advance for it. But I had a good idea of the amount, so I'm just going to cover that with my discretionary spending category. And actually, before I do that, let me open up this category because it is at a whopping $661.29, and I put $300 towards it every month, or I budget to put $300 towards it every month. So it was able to grow this much because I had been underspending in my core spending categories so much. So that was really nice, and May actually really let me build up. So let's actually go to my core spending categories. So normally towards these categories, I put, not including my discretionary spending, $3,300 every month. $1,700 of that goes towards my rent. So if we do this math, normally I should have $1,600 left over every month for spending. And you can see that in my core spending categories right now, after my rent is paid, I have $2,482 left over for spending. So everything was able to just really build up. And a huge reason for that was because I was in New York. All of my spending was coming out of my New York sinking fund, and I had been putting money aside there. So it's all just like a change of categories. The total money I spent is still the total money I spent, but it is really nice seeing my core spending categories build up because that's where my day-to-day spending happens, and it feels like I have a lot more flexibility there. So yes, I am about to just take a bunch out of my discretionary spending category, but that is a huge reason why I felt okay to wait to make this budget video before going forward with the birthday plans I had. So let's cover it now. And that's good, and nothing else should be going towards this category for the rest of the month. And now let's get into my specific sinking funds. So for this video, I'm not going to actually move around too much in terms of money because I don't need to move things around just yet, but I want to get an idea of how much money I need, especially to cover the 2 trips I'm going on this month, and just knowing if I'll be able to do it. I feel pretty good just seeing that I still have $400 left in my discretionary spending category. I have $2,000 left over my core spending categories. Yes, I'll have to spend some of that, but we're already, a week into the month and I still have over $2,000 left over. And I have almost $600 already put aside for my sinking fund. So I feel okay about it, but I definitely want to price things out. So let's start with Mexico. So flight was already covered by my credit card. So I'm gonna just, what am I trying to do? Oops, yeah, sort of X this out. I want to like keep this $500 number in mind though, but I'm not going to be counting it towards what I need to price out for Mexico. So we did get the Airbnb. It's going to be $1,800. We also plan on going on a hot air balloon tour, and that's going to be another $1,800. And we also plan on going to an omakase, like fine dining place in Mexico, and that's going to be $250 per person. And probably more like after tip and all that stuff. I'm not sure. I think I might have already priced that in, but you never kind of know. So that is what I know for sure is happening in our on our itinerary that are big ticket items, but I feel like I'm already pretty surprised by how many big ticket items we have because I thought, going to Mexico where after like conversion rates and everything, things are cheaper for Americans. Things would be cheaper, but yeah, it's seeming pretty expensive so far, so I don't really know what day-to-day expenses will look like, but if they're anything like these activities on our itinerary, this trip will end up costing me a lot more money. So I'm just gonna go price out these things first. So we can put out this math. So 250 plus 180 plus 180, and that is 610 for all of that stuff. And yeah, I don't really know how to gauge what other things will cost. We are going to be there for only 4 days, so I feel like, rounding it out to 290 for like all other expenses should be fine, but maybe it won't be fine. We will find out. Okay, so $900 for Mexico. For New York, I know I want to do $300 for miscellaneous items, and then I need another $300 because while I was in New York, I was staying home. I'm really lucky to be able to stay home when I go to New York because if I had to stay in a hotel, I couldn't be there for more than 50 minutes. It's just so expensive over there. But apparently, I was using up the AC a lot. It is much hotter in New York than even in California at times. It really just depends on this particular time of day and time of the year you're there. So I was using up the AC a lot, and my mom complained about it. So I did offer to pay for like the electric bill for that month, and I'm just estimating it will be around $300. So that is where this other 300 is coming from. And again, I'm just going to be in New York for 2 days. So I'm really hoping I don't spend the full 300 I put aside for miscellaneous, but I like having space in the budget because I don't want to be stressed when I'm anywhere. So altogether, this puts me at $1,500 that I need to find room for in my budget. I know I'm going to have $727 from my sinking funds that I'm going to put into this month. I have $406, I believe, from my discretionary spending. Let's see. Let me just get the exact number. Oh, and I already have $180 saved for Mexico, so I can actually consider that too. So let's see. Yeah, 406. So now I just need to come up with $187. And how am I going to do that? Okay, I could take from my social activities. I feel like I'm going to be doing other social activities this month. It's a very social month. Every weekend I do have something planned. Maybe taking from health and hygiene expenses. Let's see. I do have a few things I want to buy. They shouldn't be as expensive as $300. I'm just putting it off until July now because I want to be home when all my packages arrive and stuff. I don't like coordinating package pickup with people, so I think I could take out of here. I think this is going to be the category that supplements everything else because I definitely feel like social activities I will be spending out of. Aesthetic expenses as well, I can take out of. I won't be taking out of skill development because I have to start investing in my job search process, which I will talk about a lot more in my May recap. But yeah, I think these two categories, I don't have plans for spending out of them this month, so they should suffice. That's it for this video. I just really wanted to know if everything that I need to get done this month could get done this month. It is a little tight in the sense that I will have to dip into my core spending categories, but they have been building up, so I am trying to just be comfortable with that, and I think it will all be okay. Anyway, thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.